so you can see you too. Okay, right on. Yes, we're live, and we're actually a little early. So I'm so happy to present to you my buddy, the amazing Jay David. Yes, and also his loving wife, Carol. His super, born in LA, can tell you just about anything about the history of California if you wanted it to. So Jay,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome,
Thank you
my
so
sweetheart.
much. I just love you. You're such a
I love you too.
such a big. Let me see. We'll make this bigger. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So thanks so much for coming, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
What's going on, man? What's
Oh,
going on? What's
well,
going on? Tell me.
I started a new album, my third solo album, and it's a blues album, and I got one song recorded, and I'm working on the others, obviously. And I did. There is if anybody knows Barefoot Wines, Barefoot Wines was the brand to buy, and the two owners of Barefoot Wines wrote a book about it, as much about marketing as about wine, and they said it was a little dry when they did it in a vocal form. They put it out as a CD.
Yeah.
So they said we need to get some actors and do it like the old radio shows and act it out that way. Have them do it. So they hired Ed Asner. They got me.
Oh, fabulous! Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, so I'm playing 4 parts. And
what name of it?
It's called Barefoot Wines.
Barefoot Wines.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
and it's up for an Audi, which is the audio books. So there's 5 audio books that are up for it, and it's going to be next March in New York City, and ours is one of them.
Wow, fantastic!
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how long have you been acting, Jay?
Since 2000 and who?
What? See, I told you, Carol. No.
2000.
No, I saw credits. I think back in 2012. I looked up your IMDb, and you were like. And then you also had credits 2020. I mean, you're just working all along for the last 8 years. Never mind Glee.
Yeah.
But Jay also was the senator in a short concept piece that I produced, Lilac Thief. You got cast. You were amazing in that. But also, you were fantastic. But like consistent credits all the way up until 2020.
Well, if you need a cranky old white guy, here I am,
Right. Talk about being typecast.
Typecast, yeah. Yeah. You talking to me?
You're talking to me? I know. I went up for this play, and guess who I played or I auditioned for it? The grandmother.
The grandmother, yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me to be Marilyn Monroe. I'm typecast for the grandmother.
Yeah.
Talking to the dead husband. So
I could audition for him.
Yeah, you could. I'm going to tell him the only way I take the part now, you little dirty rats, is if he plays the dead guy. Oh my God.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, when I met Carol, I knew immediately that this was the woman that I wanted to annoy for the rest of her life.
Look at that. We got the same glasses on almost. So you get double fun. She's absolutely beautiful, Carol.
Yeah.
You guys, how long have you married? Like 8 years, 10 years now?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's got such bad taste in men, though.
I think you were in your honeymoon when I met you guys.
Really?
It was your first year of marriage or something. That's how long we know each other now.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a while. Time goes fast.
And then I went back to Bayonne to Veterans Stadium and met your mother.
He was in Drummer Bugle Corps many years too, with everything else that he's fantastic at. Yeah, he met Sarah. He met my mother.
Hello, Dina's mother. I hope everything is well for you.
We have one person on. I'm sure that's Sarah.
All right, Sarah.
Nobody's written anything, but that's all right.
You met him first, and then I met you, and then you told
Shortly
me where
after.
you were from, and I go, "Oh, that's where my husband's from," and then you said, "Oh, you're Jay's wife."
Exactly.
Yeah.
We met over in Venice Beach, over in one of those fantastic halls.
Fantastic hall, yeah.
That we won't mention.
Yeah.
The anonymous halls.
Anonymous halls. I think I went to school with him.
Yeah.
Anonymous halls.
Anonymous hall. You know, one thing that I'm surprised that Jay has never done, and correct me if I'm wrong, is stand up.
I tried it a couple of times, and I wake up with funny thoughts. I wake
You're
up.
funny, you're hysterical looking too. No.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Ha, 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 go
Yeah,
ahead.
I do. So
Yeah.
they were already written in my head.
Man.
So yeah. So I put a picture of myself up yesterday laughing, and I put the caption was, "This is me laughing at one of the voices in my head who told me a joke." So,
I mean, you are one witty guy, man.
well,
Funny. I mean, you hit it. You're just a genius joke writer.
well,
For me, I think you're a genius joke writer. It's like it's never ending. It's
well, I'm working.
impressive.
I got 2 chapters done of my, I guess you could call it an autobiography, using the term really loosely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's called Sideman Stories. And,
Oh, what a great title, man.
Yeah, and it's about my musical career. But you can't have my musical career without having humor in there.
You know, Jay's from the famed band Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, and then it was cut down in like 1975 to Dr. Hook.
Yeah,
He's the drummer.
yeah.
I listened to so much music today. I was like, I just couldn't get over how beautiful it was. And for some reason, I didn't realize that Dr. Hook was more beautiful ballads. So many beautiful ballads.
Yeah, well, we always did those beautiful ballads. And we did a song after Sylvia's Mother was our first single, and that was a big hit.
Yeah, beautiful.
And thank you. And then Dennis is from Union City, New Jersey.
I know, you guys were.
Me being from Bayonne, we wanted to do a song about the inner city. So Shel Silverstein wrote this song called "Carry Me, Carry."
Wow.
And I thought it was wonderful. Folks, if you're listening or watching, listen to "Carry Me, Carry." It's about a guy who's sitting in a doorway with
that Sloppy Seconds? What was that album? Was that on?
Yeah,
Sloppy Seconds, right? Yeah, on the album Sloppy Seconds.
Tasteful title too.
Yeah, I know, I loved it.
Yeah.
I said leave it to them to have a
Sloppy Seconds. Yeah.
And the first album was just Dr. Hook.
Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show.
The Medicine Show.
Yeah, that's where Sylvia's Mother came from.
Right.
And Sloppy Seconds was the cover of the Rolling Stone, which some of you may remember. Yeah. And on my last CD, I decided that I was going to rewrite it because it was time. You know, I was looking at all these people, and I realized nobody's getting any younger around here. So I wrote the cover of AARP. Yeah, it was great. And so, and that was an awful lot of fun, and got a lot of attention, and you know,
rightfully so. It's hysterical.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and it's part of your genius writing. You're so funny.
Well, thank you.
Lyrically amazing.
It's just nobody's addressing us older folks, so I figured I would do that. And if I have the opportunity, and if I have the I don't know what I would say, the chops to write them, I will write about the older hipsters like me.
Yeah.
Older hipsters.
Yeah.
You know, because nobody's talking about us.
Well, it's a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
People think that we're sitting home knitting, and we're the ones that have the experience, have the 40 years of experience and work and the history to talk about this stuff. Well, it's really a joke.
Because basically, I mean, I talk a lot of smack for somebody that falls over when I put on my pants in the morning. Yeah. So, you know, but, anyway,
no.
I'm doing all this stuff like that, and living life sober and clean, and that's great. That's a wonderful part.
Oh man,
you
me too.
Yeah, there you go.
Me too. I mean, we can't talk about other people, but we're not breaking our anonymity if we talk about each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Best thing I ever did.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I got high for 45 years. Yeah. And it's amazing I'm still alive.
Wow.
But I am. Here I am. And
wow.
Have a higher power sort of employing me now. So, and what I was left with after I did my 12 steps of this anonymous organization, of all anonymous organizations, I guess, once I did those, completely and as good as I could possibly do them, I was left with one of my primary purposes is to bring humor to people's lives. And so that's the only way that's the way that I'm doing it, you know. So because there's too much stuff going on that's detrimental to your soul, you know, politically and elsewhere. And so that's my job. That's one thing I do. It's why I get up early in the morning, and I think my higher power is helping me do this stuff, you know. And yes, I did try stand up to answer your question about an hour ago.
No, that's all right. I mean,
I did, and there's some video that Carol took of me doing it. And as it turns out, I'm not the kind of guy, I don't think, that would stand up on stage and do patter and do pre-planned conversations. Hi, how are you? Where are you from? You know, and you know, I just got out of bed this morning. And yeah, right. That's what I prefer to do, is tell stories, and that worked out pretty well. I told the story of when I was a wedding band leader, and I told that story in Two Roads Theater in Studio City, and
oh, just sit up one-man show like that and tell your story like that?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I played a little drums first.
I actually saw the video. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was like 2015.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I did see the video.
So I started thinking about, well, I got a lot of stories. I got a lot of stories.
Man.
You want to hear one?
Yeah.
You do? Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, back in 1965, or no, 64, I was playing drums 6 nights a week at a nightclub in Times Square called the Wagon Wheel. And the Wagon Wheel was on West 45th Street. And you had the Wagon Wheel, you had a luncheonette, the Knickerbocker Hotel, and the Peppermint Lounge. So it was obviously, everybody was on that street. There were all sorts of people on that street. Famous actors and famous musicians. And so anyway, I was playing 6 sets a night, half hour on and half hour off. And myself and the saxophone player would go outside and smoke a cigarette and just watch the action on the street. So one Sunday night, we were out there and we were smoking and having some coffee. And we watched as all of a sudden from nowhere came about 100 girls, you know, teeny boppers, you know, giggling and screaming and doing what teeny boppers do. Yeah. And they gathered in front of the Peppermint Lounge. And then at that point, as like from nowhere, photographers set up their cameras and tripods. Then a limo pulled up and out jumps the Beatles.
Wow.
Running into the Peppermint Lounge.
Wow.
So I say to Hank, what the hell was that?
Wow.
You know, what was that? Because at that point, She Loves You, well, I'm playing with a 6-piece band. You know?
6 nights a week, and then we got these crazy Beatles coming out.
Yeah, so they run in. Our time's up. We go back in, play another half-hour set, and we come back out.
Wow.
There's nobody there. So it's like, what? The only thing that's there is a limo. Sure enough, 10 minutes into it, the same thing happens again. The girls gather, the photographers show up, and out runs the Beatles into their limo, and off they speed into the night.
Wow.
So we're just putting them down, laughing, you know, because we're better than you, you know. But
these guys are never going to make it.
They were, as it turns out, that was the night I think they did the Ed Sullivan Show.
Wow.
I think. But the following day, the New York Daily News, my favorite newspaper, had a huge picture of them and a headline, Beatles take New York by storm.
Oh, shit.
And I went, what the hell? Really? Wait a minute. That wasn't what I saw. I didn't see them do that. I saw, and so I think I just saw the media in my life for the first time. It was, they created it. It was a creation.
Oh, right.
They staged it. But, but to the media, it looked like it happened spontaneously, but it did not.
It did not.
So,
wow.
So, and I have a postscript to that. A week later, we're doing the same thing, and a limo, the girls and Rolling Stones run into the lounge.
Shit.
Yeah, they were a week behind the Beatles. So
what club was this that you were at?
The Wagon Wheel.
The Wagon Wheel.
Yeah, owned by the, I forgot the mafia family that owned it. It's probably just as well I don't mention it if I did remember. But
they'd have to.
We'd have to pay them a royalty and you know, I have to give them my hat. And, I have to give them my hat.
Have to give them a vig.
Yeah, right, exactly. Every week.
I had my bachelorette party at the Peppermint Lounge. I don't
yeah.
remember much of it, but everybody told me we had a good time.
Oh man, that street was
wow.
that street was amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a story, though, Jay.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, that's what the chapters are going to be about. Stuff like that.
It's phenomenal. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So Sideman stories. I'll let you know when it comes out. Maybe Dina and I can get together and talk to you again.
Sure,
about
would
that.
love to. Well, you
Yeah.
could read it.
I could, if I knew how to
Yeah,
read,
but
I could
that's a
do
problem.
that.
That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't mind if I do it like that? do
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to give him some size glasses like Carol and I have. These glasses aren't big enough. Right. No, he's so funny.
Yeah, this is my child bride sitting there, and she.
Child bride.
Yeah.
Carol's born and raised in California, right?
California
LA.
girl.
She's an LA chickie through and through.
Venice too.
You lived in Venice Beach your whole life.
Mar Vista, Venice. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
When we drive someplace, I just shut up. I think I know directions, but I don't know anything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and she knows all of it,
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Although I have trouble shutting up, but it's great,
Hey, look, we all like to talk. This conversation, I think, is the best thing. We kind of get shut down with these things.
Yeah.
People get annoyed when people talk these days because they want to spend the whole time on their phone.
If you want to have a very interesting.
I'm going to lower these lights a little bit.
Okay.
Because you look like you're all washed out. You keep talking.
Okay.
I'm going to lower it, yeah.
If you want to have.
I'm going to lower the lights so you're not like, oh,
After the lights go down low,
a little bit.
baby,
You come across-
you know.
You look like you're all washed out, Jay. Not right.
Yeah, I know. I look like I'm
not right.
rode hard and put away wet.
Me too.
Yeah.
Carol's the only one because she's a little further back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How far back do
Better
I?
now?
How far
Much
back
better.
do I have to?
Yeah, we gotta be
look
back like
normal?
Carol. She looks all pretty and full of color, and you and I look like we're all
Yeah.
we're all
Gacked out.
gacked out.
Yeah. So
Cocaine days.
here-
when we
oh,
spent the whole
geez.
time
you spent
in the bathroom.
I spent all my money on that, and thought I had a good time.
Right. So that was a lot of hardcore partying. Was during the Dr. Hook days, huh? He's like,
Yeah. We would go from one country to the next.
Wow.
And
World tours.
world tours, and we started getting a reputation for being bad boys. And so Ray, here's another chapter from the
Yeah.
book. Ray, one of our lead singers, lost an eye in a car accident, and so he had a patch over his eye, and we were looking for a place to stash the drugs, that they would never look.
No.
Yeah, and so the socket was. That's what did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, in the airport?
Yeah, and
Wow.
the customs.
Wow.
They never thought to, would you lift your patch, sir? They never thought.
No
to look.
pain? Shoving that thing in there?
I don't think Ray felt any pain for as long as I knew him. But God bless him. He passed away last year.
Oh, wow.
On New Year's Eve, and but there's chapters like that in there too. It's a long, strange trip it's been.
Well, those were the times, man. That was the 70s, pre-AIDS and all that, before everybody was scared to death. I mean, it was, I believe it was the 70s and the Vietnam War kind of like shook everybody up big time.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah, I was in the Navy during the Vietnam era, and I was a hospital corpsman.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah.
What years were these that you were in
I joined in 1960, and I
Right.
got out in 63, and I served 2 years in active reserve after that.
Right.
So, yeah, I was in the Navy in the very years that JFK was president.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So,
That was a real turning point from naivety to like, bam, all these young men were joining up to, fight for the old, for America, for the United States. And they would like thrown into this Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I
It still
didn't,
blows my mind.
I didn't get stationed over there.
Where were you stationed?
Believe this. I
Please tell me like Florida.
no,
feel better. I
I
feel
could
better.
have, I could have done that.
Yeah.
The Navy liked me. I did
Good.
pretty well in corps school, and
Did you do 5 shows a week over there at the Covent?
that's funny you say that
Yeah.
because they said, "Where would you like to be stationed?"
Yeah.
Now I could have said any place in the world. Rota, Spain. They would have sent me there.
Yeah.
I said, "How about St. Albans in Queens?"
Thank God.
I did. I said St.
Thank
Albans
God.
in Queens. They said okay, and the reason I did that was I wanted to play. So that's what I did. I went
Wow.
right back to the 45th Street, and I'm playing. Only I'm in the Navy now with short hair.
So, so you're in the Navy Corps is the band.
No,
Why
No,
did you get
the-
to play
the-
the drums in the Navy?
the Navy wanted me to join their drum and bugle corps.
All right.
But I said, no, I would like to be a hospital corpsman. So they said, oh, okay. So,
Oh, but you could go to the city and everything from Queens.
From
and still-
Queens.
Oh man!
As
Oh,
long as
thank God.
as long as I was working during the day, I'm a skin cancer survivor. And how I got skin cancer was I would work from 11 at night until 7 in the morning sometimes. And one morning I decided I was going to take myself to Jones Beach where there are no trees, but I don't
Jones
know
Beach.
anything. So I injected a watermelon with, I don't know, about 9 times with vodka.
No.
And so me and my watermelon went to the beach. You
Oh,
know?
sure.
And so it's around 8 o'clock or so, or 9. I don't remember because I passed out. I ate my watermelon and I woke up at 6 that night, stretched out, looking like a lobster. I couldn't move. So they gave me what they call.
I've done that. I'm laughing because I relate. Yeah.
They gave me a captain's mass, which is like a court martial for destroying government property.
Oh, yeah?
And it was me.
Was you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So 40 years later, I got skin cancer, and they said, "Did something happen to you 40 years ago?" I said, "Oh yeah, it did." You know.
well, this watermelon.
Yeah, this was water. It was good for what the 10 minutes I remember. But
Yeah.
anyway,
You're lucky the tide didn't come up and scoop you up. We used to get so drunk we probably wouldn't even have woke up, right?
Yeah,
We'd
right.
go
Oh,
right off into the
yeah,
ocean.
sure, yeah. Where is this? Scotland? No, Jay.
No, Jay.
No.
You're
But anyway,
on a cargo boat off Queens.
yeah, cargo boat.
Oh,
off
there's
Queens.
Sarah. Hi, Ma.
Oh, hi, Mom.
There she
Hello.
is. We knew you'd check in. We're having a wonderful time.
How's things in Bayonne? Cool? You good?
I'm surprised she's even figuring out how to write. Hi, Ma. On here. I'm so proud of her. Hi, Ma. Here we go. Yeah, oh, yeah, here she goes. Hi. She got hi. Okay, that's good.
That's great.
That's great.
She's such
She's
a
a
beauty.
trooper.
Yeah, she's good. Good.
She's a trooper.
She's good.
She really is a trooper.
So anyway, I could
Yeah.
regale you with stories, but that's what the book is about. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
what book are we talking about?
Sideman stories.
Sideman stories.
Sure,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It encompasses all of that stuff. Before Dr. Hook, I was the singer Brenda Lee. I'm sorry, so sorry.
Oh, I love Brenda Lee. So
I was
sorry.
her drummer in '66
Wow.
and '67.
Wow.
That's a whole other. There's stories inside of that too. So I got a lot to draw on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the joke. Exactly what you said is that these youngsters here think that we're sitting home doing nothing, and really, we're just currently just plowing through and just continuing to make content, and that's the joke of it all. When you
Yeah.
talk to people that are real young, they're like, "Wow, I'm so impressed that you're still,
Functioning.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
he wants to know. My mom wants to know when you're coming to Bayonne again.
Oh, I don't know, Mom.
You don't know.
I would like to. I'd like to be there tomorrow, but I cannot do that because it's too cold, Mom.
It's too cold. We only come to February for funerals, Mom. That's it.
Yeah,
See you in May.
yeah. I love. Springtime in Bayonne. There's a song.
Tell us when the snow melts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only Christmas tree I want to see is one on LA streets that they throw out the window.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah. So, what else would you like to talk about?
Well, really, I'd just like to talk about what's going on now, besides the book. I know that, and your album, you put out another album in 2017, which I thought was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And they were all beautiful songs, and I have terrible memory, but the one song where it really choked me up, and I thought it was extra, extra beautiful. And Not for Sorrow. Here's my book here. Yeah, see,
lucky old son.
That lucky old son.
Yeah. Well, I directed.
That was
from my first solo CD.
I love the video.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did. That was
Yes,
first time I ever directed.
It was a great video.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
your voice was like so, and it just flashed me back from the flavor of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
So I
oh,
thought it
that
was
cool. Yeah. Well, from time to time, I will put it up on Facebook.
yeah.
From time to time, I'll put on me playing a serial killer named Tick, who killed 48 women and 1 man. And
He always plays the crazy. What show is this from?
this is from The Unconfessed, which is a series of interviews with serial killers by forensic scientists, wondering what they're like. And so, but none of us had ever confessed before, so we confessed. So yeah, my guy.
Where can they find that? YouTube?
I think so. Look up The Unconfessed.
The Unconfessed.
And look up Tick.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love playing a serial killer. Oh, it's fun.
You
fun.
were good at the senator too. You weren't much nicer in the senator either.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I think, but these are the juicy roles. These are the juicy parts.
Yeah.
He was on Glee though too, and you played next to like the most famous comedians of like my day, and you was so good.
Tim Conway.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Billy D. Williams and
Yeah.
June Squibb, who was up for an Oscar that year, and myself. We played 4 older folks that were musicians and actors living in an actors and musicians home.
Yeah.
So that's what that was about.
Weren't you making a break for it or something though? Weren't you guys going somewhere? You had this guy who was like in a wheelchair that looked dead. You were like, let's go. I got the band ready.
Yeah. I don't remember the plot line, but I was putting him on a bus.
I did watch. I think you were taking him on a road trip.
Putting on a bus.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How about auditions? You hitting any auditions?
No, not now.
Yeah.
Not now.
You need to get back out there.
Well, okay.
Too much going on?
Yeah. I'd rather.
I dig it.
I have a lifetime now to reflect back on instead of going to an audition. I'd rather sit down and write.
Beautiful.
And so that's what I'm up to.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You writing every day?
I am now.
Wow.
I am now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Even if what I write is no good.
Impossible.
Even if what I write I don't care for, the effort of writing every day, it becomes like a muscle, and you get stronger.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
So
it's amazing.
Let's
go back to the 12 steps. When I finished my 12 steps, I was already 42 years old. I had already been in this anonymous program for many, many years. And the 12 steps was the first thing I ever finished in my life. And it snowballed, seriously, 41.
Yeah.
The 12 steps, and I had been in this anonymous program for so many years, and I had started them. I had even sponsored people, but when I finished the 12 steps, I've never looked back.
Yeah.
I finally saw, oh my God, this procrastinating woman can finish something.
Yeah.
And it's last 18 years, I finished so many projects.
That's wonderful.
So
that really is. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you talked about how if you put it on paper, you know what I mean?
It's a different process. If you put it on, you can talk to yourself all day long, and people might put you away for that. But nonetheless, you can, words are not the same as the written word, because later on you get a chance to read what the you that wrote that then.
Right.
And so time passes, you may not be you change, people change. So when I read what I wrote doing the 12 steps, it profoundly changed me. Profoundly. Because I never looked at myself. I mean, I was the type of guy that people would say, "Hey, Jay, have a great weekend." And I'd say, "Don't tell me what to do." And I finally,
cup half empty.
I took a look at myself. I saw myself in what I wrote, and I felt,
was that psychic change from finally taking direction and doing something that I was never willing to take a direction from anybody in my entire life.
Yeah.
But just what you said. I finally found this gay guy about 4 foot tall to bring me through the anonymous program.
Nice.
And I finally found, first time in my life, 41, I followed instructions.
Yeah, right.
And, and instead of saying, "Oh, have a nice day," blah, I said,
right.
"Oh, have a nice day. Sit
Yeah.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had my sponsor said, listen, Jay, I complained about, man, all this traffic. I yell and and he said, well, why don't you say, God bless you. Even if they can't hear you, say, God bless you. Have a great day. Have a nice day. So I did that, about 5 times coming here today,
Yeah, day at a time.
But
But less than before.
Less than before. It's a good thing.
Whole different ball
It's
game.
a good thing. Where before I would give somebody the finger or, now it's, hey, have a great day. God bless you. And it goes away.
And you move on. It goes away. It
goes
just
away.
dissipates. You try to tell people and they don't understand. But
Yeah, it goes away.
it blows my mind.
I was the manager at a sober living house, and one guy would say, I hate BMWs. And I'd say, really? What do you hate about them? I just hate the people that have them, and stuff like that, that the steps, that would fall away. And he would look at himself as, my higher power has a sense of humor, because that's funny. I hate BMWs and people that
what's the
drive
hate
them.
about a BMW?
How can you hate people you hadn't met yet?
Yeah, and who could possibly hate a BMW? So
Yeah, right. Except a broken one.
Well, and that's the point too. Is we waste all that time and energy being pissed at an inanimate object.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Because we're so.
Yeah, I used to get mad at Windows. Windows on a computer. So Carol finally said, Jay,
Windows.
you're driving me crazy. Let's go to the Apple store. And so I have an iPhone, an iMac, and I have an iPad.
I watch. No more Windows.
Yeah, no more Windows. No Windows. No Windows. So, it's not, we're not perfect.
No.
We're not perfect. No, we're not. We're not perfect.
Carol is. We're not. Carol is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
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 But it's that psychic change that, just like you do this and this happens and it's this book, this blue book, and it's the same for everyone. You do this and it happens. And it works every time.
When I used
blows my mind.
I used to go to meetings, and when I was trying to get sober, and I would go to meetings. I was sober, but I was mad, because I hadn't done
pissed off. I was so pissed off.
Yeah, I hadn't done the steps yet. So I'd be at meetings, and all I could see was the differences between me and whoever I saw. I'm not like you. Until one night somebody was speaking, and they told part of my story, and that's when I went, wow. So I'm not alone.
Wow.
So that started a healing process.
And beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah. When they would say,
you like that, huh?
Not me. Today I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. And I say, oh yeah, well, go F yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've lived a life
it's world tour with the amazing bands and a theater stage.
But here I am comparing, and I had no right to compare what my life was like to what they just said. So
because you have a life like no other.
Well, I had to grow up too.
Amen to that.
I had to grow up.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, I had to grow up. She shakes her head.
I was pissed off 2 years ago. I'm 51 years old. So I finally stopped being mad. I was over 57 years old. I'm like, what am I so mad about? I forgot what I was so mad about.
Oh, that's incredible. Are you directing any films now?
No, I'm doing I just worked on which I talked about over and over and over again, The Cup. I assistant directed this 4 web series, webisode that they're in post-production now, and I'm doing my reality thing, Dina Six. Every week I'm putting up a show.
That's
so
great.
I'm kind of, I'm directing that, but more in a documentary basis than a narrative.
That's great.
But I finished a feature script. So I wrote, and like you said, if you put it down on paper, well, it's 2 months ago now, 105-page feature script that I've been talking about like crazy. So I'm trying to get that out there.
Yeah, I found that every time I write something, it takes on a life of its own. It's just going through me. I'm just writing, and it's like, I don't know what this is going to be like when I'm done, but I know it's not going to be what I think it is now. So. So it's a beautiful process.
Oh my God, it was a beautiful first time ever. I wrote a feature. I've written many shorts, but it was my first feature. What a process!
Yeah.
I was blown away. It's called The Movement.
The movement.
It's called The Movement.
Oh.
It's a lot of.
It's not about a proctologist.
No, it's not about a proctologist. No, it's not about a proctologist. It's about a guy who finds Jesus in the desert at his concert,
Oh,
and it sparks a global revival.
oh,
And it's an epic feature.
oh.
And then, but what I want to do too, and I have a new idea for. I had made a comedy a while back called "I Got You Namaste." So I got a couple really good comedians that are on board. So I'm going to start writing it as a
Cool.
series, and I
Cool.
would love to have. I would love to have you as get involved as well.
Okay.
It's called "I Got You Namaste." It's a spoof on California. It's all a joke.
Yeah.
I knew I was waiting for Carol. It's a spoof on California. And but I do love California, but it's I'm hoping to get that started writing too soon. So
I do know a proctologist in Culver City
Yeah.
that has a sign on his
the
door.
movement.
That has the movement. He has a sign on his door. It says, "If you're in a hurry, just back in."
Or don't move,
Yeah.
don't move,
Yeah.
don't make any movement,
No movement.
no movement at all. Oh
So
shoot!
yeah. So
Yeah.
um,
So no directing. What about you? I mean,
well, again, I tend to. It seems like I did. Look, I was singing on a radio show at age 2,
wow.
so
Come on.
I'm pretty natural. It comes pretty. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So
You're born to sing.
well, telling stories is what I'm talking about
Storyteller,
specifically.
Yeah. You're telling stories at 2 on a radio station? On the radio station?
No, yeah,
Oh.
right. Telling.
I got
Yeah.
tonsils. That's
What?
how old were you in the tonsils? That's a funny
I
story.
got one.
Oh, well, I had my tonsils out and I don't know how old I was, but my mother told me and my mother and a nurse told me the story of, I was there with a bunch of infants and I would yell for the nurse and I would say, if you don't give me ice cream, I'm going to start singing and wake up all your babies. You know what I mean? So I was blackmailing.
Ooh, at that age,
at
right?
Bayonne Hospital. Yeah.
Oh man, shout
Yeah.
out to Bayonne Hospital.
Yeah. Actually, when I went back there,
Wow.
Dina, I went to a meeting in Bayonne Hospital.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've been there many times, Jay.
What a share. I shared, from the heart. I was born right here in this hospital, fellas.
Wow.
And
Bayonne's
Yeah.
proudest over here. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
It's downstairs on the first floor in the cafeteria. I've been there many times.
Oh, yeah.
Hospital.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Just wonderful. I mean, I really needed that.
So you're still hitting a lot of meetings.
Not as many as I
Yeah.
used to, but
Yeah.
what we do is Carol and I both have a panel that we take into the women's jail
Oh, amazing.
once a month, and we go and we speak to them about our experience, our strength, and our hope.
Beautiful.
And they've all been sentenced to this particular pod in jail because their crimes, if you will, have had to do with drugs and or alcohol.
Sure.
So the judge is giving them a second chance, and
Oh,
there are people
that's
like
beautiful.
us that come in and share. The only thing I can offer, and the only thing Carol can offer, is our stories. That's I can't tell anybody to get sober, but I can tell you what happened to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we do. We've been doing that for years now.
Beautiful. I mean,
so,
you're done when you're done, but you
yeah,
never know, you guys. They'll hear one thing, one little spark that you hear, and
Yeah.
it's surprising on how many people we influence.
yeah.
It's nice to be a good example, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as a
It's
guy,
really-
I
love
grew
it.
up to be a cautionary tale. I thought, but don't be like this guy, please. But yeah, it's if I can get folks to smile, then they're not angry any longer, and so it's it's cool.
Well, if it doesn't help them, it helps you. It helps you too.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's the deal.
Yeah,
They love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
They love when we come in.
Yeah, of course they do.
This month we had
67
Wow.
women.
Yeah.
So we had to stand up. There were so many, so they could all hear us. And
Wow.
it's
You feel good when you feel good that we can get in and then we can leave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. Walk out. I've done a couple of prison system things, and I'm like, wow.
well, we call
How
it
did I escape that?
date night.
Say nice.
Yeah,
And date night in jail.
date night
Right.
in jail.
Date night in jail.
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
exactly.
moly. Carol, how'd you never get into the movie industry being in California?
Why didn't I?
Yeah, what did you, were you in the,
No, I didn't.
I know.
'Cause I was shy. Although I did dance on Hollywood High stage one time, a bunch of my girlfriends somehow got me to do that.
is that where you went to Hollywood High?
No, I went to Venice High.
Oh, Schoolsy, yeah, Venice High.
You
yeah.
were in one movie.
I was in a movie.
What movie were you in?
What was the name of it? It was about molestation and all, and I was
Nice.
like, what's his name? Mark Ridley.
Mark Ridley,
He was
the director and the
directing it.
star of the film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And then he did a short thing about educational thing, and I was in that too.
yeah. Because, I mean, you have such a wonderful look on camera. Look how gorgeous she looks. We kind of look like twins when I go like this. Like,
Yeah.
You have such a wonderful look. And you look fantastic, Carol. You really, really do. I'm so happy you guys found each other.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah,
Yeah, so am
it's
I.
awesome. It's awesome.
So,
What else, Jay?
I don't know. I'm reading what Sarah said.
This is Sarah.
This is Sarah.
So you're writing your stories.
Mhm.
You got inspired by who was the guy that we were talking about earlier that inspired you to make another album? When you went on the tour, when you went on the you told me that you gave him a CD from this.
Oh yeah, Carol went on a blues cruise.
We all forgot already. The three of us.
Yeah,
We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol just went on a blues
A
cruise.
blues cruise, and there were
Yeah.
19 bands on board.
Kingfish.
Kingfish.
She went on a cruise and she saw Kingfish.
So
and,
she brought home some CDs
yeah,
and gave them to me, and
Yeah.
I started listening to some blues all the time.
wow.
So seems like I like the blues enough to make some
Yeah.
blues songs myself.
that's
So
awesome.
that's what I did. So I recorded one, and I'm liking it.
Oh,
And,
beautiful.
Yeah.
When can we expect to hear that?
The song, I would prefer to put it out. Well, I'll see if I can possibly put a teaser of 45 seconds of it
Sure.
or something, so you can see which direction
Yeah.
I'm going. Yeah,
The studio. You got a studio in your house. You do
I
everything.
do. I have a studio in my house,
It's
but
amazing.
I finish things with much better equipment than I have down in Palos Verdes. And
Oh, fantastic.
yeah, so
Nice studio down there.
yeah, it's beautiful, very beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not where that got. Oh, yeah, beautiful setting. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
Who owns the studio? Who has
Pat Boland owns the studio, and Pat and I used to work together, and now we're both Virgos. We're both married to Libras. We have a lot of stuff in common.
You know each
and,
other a long time.
And yeah, and we sing together really well. And he's a great guitar player. And so that's what we do.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I love to do that. But it's not something that I mean, I don't want to go and just do something if I haven't been moved. If
Yeah. Wow, of course not. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how does that even work?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It doesn't anyway.
Yeah. I have to have be inspired idea myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's about it for me right now.
That's about it. Music, a book he's writing,
Mm.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff, and everything is good. And I'm still sober, and I'm still clean.
It's amazing,
And
Jay.
this is 13 years now. So
Thank you so much, Jay.
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
God
thank
bless
you
you.
so much.
honey.
for
God
coming
bless
out,
you.
honey.
Love
Thank
you.
so much.
Love you.
too. Thank you.
Goodbye,
Pat.
folks.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye. And stay smiling because then we start. And yeah, not yet.